Hi, welcome to Movie Review Mom. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews. And my goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so that you can make the best decision as to whether or not you want to spend time or money or both sometimes watching a specific film. So the specific film I'm reviewing today is called Creed 3. This movie is now available in select theaters and on video on demand and to stream online. It's rated PG-13 and is an hour and 56 minutes. Now, this is the shortest Creed movie in the entire Creed franchise. My movie review mom grade is a B+. Now, stick around so I can tell you why I'm giving it the grade that I am. I'll give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I liked and didn't like, as well as offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, interesting lines, even recommendations for other movies that are sort of similar that I think you'll also really like. All right, so in a nutshell, he's back. Adonis has been thriving in both his career and family life as the movie starts. But when a childhood friend and a former boxing prodigy resurfaces, the face-off is more than just a fight. So congratulations to Michael B. Jordan for directing this movie, as well as starring in it. He was the executive producer of the 2018 Creed movie, Creed 2, and now he's ready for the big show. He loves anime, and so you actually see some influences from Dragon Ball Z and Naruto in the film. The writing team consists of Keenan Coogler, Zach Balin, and Ryan Coogler. I hope I got those names right. That didn't sound right when I said it out loud. Anyway, here's the list of things that I really liked about the movie. First of all, the terrific cast includes Michael B. Jordan, Tessa Thompson, Jonathan Majors, Wood Harris, Felicia Rashad, and Thaddeus J. Mixon as the young Adonis Creed. Now, I've never seen a bad performance by Michael B. Jordan. As expected, he is great in this movie. Jonathan Majors also looks amazing and does a fantastic job. If you like him, you should definitely check out his recent performance in a movie called Devotion, based on a true story. Little Mila Davis Kent is totally adorable as Creed's daughter, Adonis's daughter, and she's deaf in real life. And I always appreciate just the little running thread of deaf characters in the movie because that adds a touch of reality to it and introduces us to that beautiful language. There are some amazing slow motion boxing shots. Just wow. I don't even know how they film stuff like that. For example, there's this one punch and you see the little drops of water like shoot off of his back. And I'm like, how did they do that? That's amazing. So for all of you fellow nerds out there, you'll be interested to know that this is the third movie in the Creed series that's being released on the third day of the third month in the third year of the third decade of the third millennium of the Common Era. I don't know why I know that, but there you go. It's really fun to hang out in Adonis Creed's gorgeous house. I love that the movie features some of the pageantry in boxing, you know, when both boxers parade into the arena with their music and entourage before the big fight. That's always my favorite part of the boxing matches. One of my sons actually was a boxer for a very short period of time. So we went to a lot of boxing matches and got to see that pageantry. And I just thought it was so much fun. My husband thinks boxing is the coolest sport ever. And as a mother of 4 sons, I'm like, I don't want you beating up people. It's a great sport, though. I love the training montages, except I feel like such a slug watching them while I'm sitting there on my butt and eating, snacks, watching the movie. I definitely need to work out harder. There is a hard-hitting soundtrack that's a lot of fun. I'm always amazed at how they film boxing scenes to make them look so real. And I thought that the scenes where they just showed the two boxers alone in the ring were especially effective. And it offered a perspective of how personal the fight was for these two men. Many of the famous boxing and announcers and TV personalities of the day offer cameo performances. I always get a kick out of that because it lends credibility to the scenes in the movie as if they're, real life people and stories. Now, there were a few things that I didn't like in the movie. First of all, and mainly, Sylvester Stallone does not appear in this sequel, which is such a shame. He crafted the Rocky character and franchise, for crying out loud. But sadly, he was left out of this new edition. That seems super disrespectful to old Sly, as well as a disappointment to many fans, including me. He hasn't hidden, Sylvester Stallone, has not hidden his frustration about being shut down by Ryan Coogler and Irwin Winkler, saying that he'll never watch this movie. What's really missing in this sequel is the heart and soul that Rocky always gave us. And you feel that absence, at least I did. Now, I assume we're going to see young Bianca competing in the ring one of these days, right? Act 3 feels very rushed compared to the first two acts. For example, we see Dane call out Adonis in a show, and then suddenly they're both training and in the ring fighting. There's no conversation between Adonis and his wife, who surely would have a strong opinion about his fighting again after so many physical dangers to his battered body. Instead, we just see we see her hugging him in the ring as he enters the ring, ready for the big fight, clearly supporting him in his decision to fight again. And so it just felt like a huge jump in time and in the story itself. Like all of the movies in the Rocky and Creed universe, this film is extremely predictable. You can see exactly where this movie is going from the very beginning. Let me give you some tips for parents. First of all, there is sign language spoken in the movie with subtitles. There's lots of fighting action in and outside of the ring. There is talk of jail time. A girl gets in trouble at school for punching another student. Some of the music has explicit profanity and offensive language, including the N-word. Some young teenagers get in a fight with a gun, and then cops arrive on the scene, and there's discussion of jail time. Some of the themes that are illustrated very well in the movie are friendship, brotherhood, forgiveness, family, pain, regret, rivalry, legacy, parenting, timing, focus, and control, both in and out of the boxing ring, and then the next generation. All right, so I always like to write down interesting lines so you can kind of get a taste for the dialogue and where the movie's going. And you can read all of the lines that I wrote down on my written review at moviereviewmom.com, but I'll share a few of them with you right now. So Bianca Creed, who's played by Tessa Thompson beautifully, says, "The only solution to every problem is not a punch in the face." That comes into a parenting conversation where they're trying to figure out what to do with their daughter who just punched a student in the face. The announcer says, "You can feel the tension." And you can. And I think that that's really well done. Adonis's coach says to him, "Let go of whatever was and focus on what is." That's good advice for all of us, really, in any type of situation, not just boxing or sports, that kind of thing. And then Michael B. Jordan, who plays Adonis Creed, says, "I left boxing, but boxing didn't leave me." That's a good line, too. And just lets you know this franchise is not over. So let me give you some recommendations for some other movies that I think you'll also really like. For example, other movies with Jonathan Majors. As I mentioned, Devotion. It's based on a true story and is very touching and heartfelt. Another movie with Jonathan Majors is called The Last Black Man in San Francisco. Check that one out. And of course, if you haven't seen any of the Creed movies, start with the very first one and work your way forward. I am a fan, and I'm glad that they do keep making these movies. Some are better than others for sure, but it's such a great underdog story and a reminder to never give up. All right, that's it. I hope that if you watch this movie that you do enjoy it. Comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.